a lot of these Kenyan Trump supporters are saying that America had a less interventionist agenda under Trump. There were less wars in the world than under Biden.
Africa, I want to go back to this whole immigration issue, right? Trump's plan right now includes mass deportation. This mass deportation plan means everybody's got to go. If there is any type of suggestion that you might not be from here, then you've got to go. Is basically a general idea of how that plan is supposed to go.
A lot of these Kenyan Trump supporters are saying that America had a less interventionist agenda under Trump. There were less wars in the world than under Biden. And they're saying that Kamala will continue where Biden left off. And another bigger part is that they're saying Trump will not interfere in African politics. These are Trump supporters who are saying this, part of the reason why they're saying they're supporting him. So what would you tell them, in this situation? If this is why they're supporting Trump, the world will be safer under him because he doesn't like wars.
So Trump says a lot of things, and I think it's when you cherry pick what Trump says, it's interesting because you can create a narrative, but he says so many things that are contradictory that it's kind of hard to keep up. But when it comes to him not being involved in Kenyan in politics or not being worried about Africa, I want to go back to this whole immigration issue, right? Trump's plan right now includes mass deportation. This mass deportation plan means everybody's got to go. If there is any type of suggestion that you might not be from here, then you've got to go. Is basically a general idea of how that plan is supposed to go. Now the experts, the economists, this ties into the economy for those who love him for that purpose. Bloomberg Economics said that Trump's deportation plan would cause the second Great Depression, which would basically, the indication is 8.9% decrease in GDP. And to make that simple, that's basically double what it was the last time we had a recession here. And when we had that recession, it was rough. Everybody was feeling it. We had the housing crisis. Everyone was affected. Even the person, who was just trying to get a job couldn't work at McDonald's because they were overqualified and they were not hiring. That was a really rough time. We're talking about a double impact just because of the mass deportation, right? And so where are these people going? Are they just deporting one group of people or not? No, they said a blanket policy for mass deportation. So that does affect Africa, right? And then another thing too is once we talk about what Trump does or does not do with his diplomacy, it basically depends on what is the most hot topic issue at the time. So if Trump becomes president and all of a sudden there is something interesting going on in Africa, do you think he's going to have a hands-off? Has history shown that he's had a hands-off attitude once there has been reason for there to be interest? That is not what's been shown, but more importantly, that's not what he said. What he said is once he gets into office that he is going to be commander-in-chief officially. He's going to take care of Ukraine. He's going to take care of the Gaza situation, and that he's going to take care of Iran. And I mean, the statements that he's made about taking care of Iran and is very scary considering the situation that we are diplomatically with them. And so it's contradictory to what your guy is saying. Your guy is saying that he's going to be a commander in chief and that he's going to show us this. He's going to show the strength of America. He has said himself that he feels like America hasn't shown their strength enough, meaning he's going to do more than what has happened before. And for whatever reason, Trump really likes comparisons. He's always in competition with someone somehow. And so when he says that, I truly do believe that he wants to outdo his predecessors when it comes to the, military offensive that he is planning in these situations, and that is not going to be favorable. So Trump is not the peace guy. He himself has said that that is not the way to go, because according to him, peace is a sign of weakness, and he wants to be the commander-in-chief that is showing to be very strong. And if those issues happen to affect the African continent, he's going to use that same type of strength.
And I think people forget that there was a war in Yemen during his administration, where the Saudis were bombarding Yemen, courtesy of the United States, and very many people were killed. I don't have specific numbers, but I believe the number of people who died in Yemen are more than the people who died in Gaza. At the moment, within the Muslim community in the U.S., as most of you are aware, there is a lot of I don't even know the right word to use. I don't know what word would fit fitna. Hata sile fitina Kiswahili. There's a lot of internal conflict going on within the Muslim community because of Gaza. There's one group that's saying that let's punish the Democrats. Initially, it was punish Biden, and when Biden was the one who was running, it was a bit unanimous. And when I say unanimous, I mean like I was also in that group. As far as Gaza is concerned. Now, when it switched to Kamala, there was an opening, that people saw at the very beginning, and at the beginning, people were excited but quiet. Let's hear what she has to say. So. And this is at a personal level, I think, a tactical error, or maybe it's a political choice they made, not to publicly show support with the people, with the pro-Gaza wing of the party. It was a political choice they made, and within the Muslim community, I'll say it's been very costly, because there's that one group that's saying that that now wants to lump Harris with Biden, because initially it was Harris is a different person. Let's wait and hear what she'll have to say. When Harris did not say anything, this other group said, okay, let's lump them together now, because she's not saying anything. It means he's in full support of what Biden did, so they're all together. So let's work to punish the Democrats to send a statement. So there's that group. And then there was pushback from African American Muslim imams. They're like, hey, hold up. We are not jumping on that bandwagon. And it's not all. There's some African American Muslim imams who are with this other group, because the push, to abandon Democrats came from, of course, most of the immigrant community, but then you also have a sizable population of Black American Muslims, and they're like, no, we're going to endorse Kamala. And they had some very good points that they were bringing up, in that there's been this divide within the Muslim community between the immigrant, by immigrant I mean the Arab and the South Asian, and then the African American Muslims. There's never been cohesion, for lack of a better word. Everybody has been doing their own thing, and justifiably so. There's an African American lady, a friend of my mom, who was talking to me, and she was being very honest. She was saying, she's a Muslim, she's happy to be a Muslim, but she knows if something happened to her, it's the Black community that's gonna come and save her. She was like, I would like to imagine that it's gonna be like the South Asians and the Arab, but no. And she was being very honest. So there was this group that came very forceful and said, hey, you know what? No, we're endorsing Kamala because of this, and that. And they gave their reasoning. Then there was this third group from Michigan. Oh my goodness. They went on stage with Trump. Not only did they endorse Trump, but they went on stage with him. But what I later came to learn is that there is a faction that has always disliked the Democrats, because Muslims in America were always Republican until 9/11. They were always Republican because of the family issues, the LGBTQ issues, until 9/11. Now, when Republicans were saying, we're going to deport all of you, we're going to jail you, we're going to send you to Guantanamo, we're going to kill you in your lands, then it was a very easy switch. In fact, by the time I wasn't there for this dilemma, by the time I was coming to the US in 2003, 2004, Muslims were Democrats. So this was never an issue for me. So this is something new that I'm seeing. But what I'm coming to learn is that there was a faction that still never liked the Democrats. So those are the ones who are coming out loud now, who are going to the point of endorsing Trump. So we have a group that's very, very, very conflicted.